name is Najla Aljerewi, and I'm triathlete representing Kuwait national team.
Hi, this is Vicent Beltran from Spain.
Ramadan is the ninth and the holiest month of the Islamic calendar. It is a time when Muslims across the world fast from dawn to sunset for around 29 to 30 days. Fasting during Ramadan also gives people a chance to reset their metabolisms. Ramadan acts as a fantastic detox for your body. By not eating or drinking throughout the day, your body will be offered a rare chance to detoxify your digestive system throughout the month.
The Ramadan intermittent fast imposes a constraining nutritional protocol inducing specific physiological adaptations.
My training program changes obviously during this month and it shifts to a lower volume, but we keep the intensity as it is
And we add more of strength and dry land exercises. During fasting, I do a lot of stretching and mobility work, nothing that requires hard effort. And then an hour before breaking the fast, I could go for a 25-minute run, or I can go for an easy spin or open water swim. Nothing hard, otherwise I'll be dehydrated and tired.
In terms of training, there are basically three different scenarios athletes can undergo. The first one, they can stop training with the inherent risk of inducing the training effects. They can also reduce the training load in order to cope with the absence of nutrient and fluid intake during daylight, or maintain the usual training loads in order to avoid the training effects, but with some potential health-related risk. Coaches need to be aware of the potential impact that intermittent fasting can have on the immune system and athletics performance.
We call the meal when we break the fast iftar. Most of Muslims break their fast with dates and water, as it is the most popular Islamic tradition, because dates are very effective in restoring energy after a day-long fasting.
It is key to carefully periodize training and monitor the dietary intake, the hydration strategies, recovery, and fatigue levels of the athletes on a regular basis. It is important to do an easy session before iftar, and depending on the weather and the length of the fast, most people who fast during Ramadan will experience mild dehydration, which might cause some headaches, they might feel fatigue, and they also might have some difficulties concentrating. In addition, a dehydration by 2% or more of the body weight will impair the performance of aerobic exercises.
probably the first few days when I have to switch my biological time and change my eating and sleeping habit. Because I used to train early in the morning, but during Ramadan I switched to evening and night sessions. It takes me around maybe 2 days until I get adopted.
During Ramadan, most of the athletes train at night, having their sleep-wake cycle disrupted. This change in the schedule leads into a delayed bedtime and shorter sleep, causing some partial sleep deprivation. Some components of performance have rhythmic variations that follow a circadian pattern. These patterns suffer some important changes during Ramadan due to the disruption of the sleep-wake cycle. In addition, the timing of the activities and the rest, the meals, and etc., can affect the circadian rhythms too. It has to be noted that these disorders will have a negative impact on the rhythmic pattern of a number of hormonal and nutrition-related biological variables. It is key for coaches to daily monitor how athletes are responding to the training load given.
Well, I try not to go crazy with my training during Ramadan. Some athletes feel that their performance and fitness doesn't get affected in the first few weeks. But at the end of the month, athletes might have a higher feeling of fatigue, which might have a possible effect on overtraining and might lead to injury. It is very important to control your training in terms of volume and intensity, and have a coach that could monitor your training and overall health.
Many studies have proven that if the right training is prescribed during Ramadan, and there is a control over the nutrition, the rest patterns, etc., performance shouldn't be affected. 2020 is a different season for Muslims, where no major games or competitions are happening right after Ramadan. It is therefore a good time for emphasizing on those aspects of the training, such as technique, core, fixing muscle imbalance. Don't put the body under too much pressure.
Well, if I consume the right food in the right time and keep myself hydrated, I won't have any issue to maintain the intensity. Sometimes I feel more energized.
Athletes should do their best to meet their normal energy and nutrient requirements of the training.
Adjust your caloric intake during the feeding window so that you can consume enough calories to meet your training exercise demand. Control your training and stay hydrated.
It is crucial that the athletes minimize the loss of body water during the daylight. It is also important to implement dietary strategies that ensure adequate fluid intake, especially just before dawn. It has to be understood that sleep deprivation and disruption to the normal circadian cycles can adversely affect physical performance. For those athletes who maintain a good diet, correct training load, maintain their body composition, and good sleep patterns, are unlikely to suffer any substantial decrements in performance during the month-long Ramadan fast.